What are some tips for someone with no fighting experience to win in a fight? If they've got their hands down, angled slightly and sort of looking away but keeping you in the corner of their eye, they're lining up for a sucker punch. The eyes are the groin of the face. Edit. How does this comment have more upvotes than I have karma lol? Edit. Thanks for the gold nugs guys. If you aren't in a sanctioned sports competition, there is no such thing as dirty. Footwork is important. Stand so that a punch won't knock you over. Don't lean into a punch. Also know what advantage you have over your opponent. If he's bigger than you, try to move to the side or behind him. Moving's harder for him, so make him move. If he's taller, get in close so his reach advantage is taken away. If he's lactose intolerant, throw milk at him. Never use haymakers, hooks and football kicks. They're ducking stupid and will get you beat real fast. The trick is straight punches using your hip to throw your arm a bit more. Try to get in close so the aforementioned kicks and haymakers won't be able to get enough power in. Keep your hands up. If you have to dodge, go sideways instead of back so you keep the distance advantage. But either way, don't get in a fight in the first place. If there's no way to avoid it, try to keep a low center of balance and make sure to keep your feet on the ground. Don't kick or anything. Once you lose your balance and you're on the ground, it's over. Edit. Yes. Apparently everyone and their brother has jiu-jitsu training. The question literally says for people with no fighting skills. If you do go down, bring them with you. But generally, try to keep your balance. But remember when Tom had you in that headlock and you screamed, "I'm a hemophiliac," and when he let you go, you kicked him in the back? Homer, yeah. But will you teach me how to do that? Homer, sure, boy. First, you gotta shriek like a woman and keep sobbing until he turns away in disgust. That's when it's time to kick some back. And then when he's lying down on the ground. But, yeah. Homer, kick him in the ribs. But, yeah. Homer, step on his neck. But, yeah. Homer, and run like hell. Don't whip out 4 lightsabers and start twirling them in circles. Remember, there are no rules in a fight. Protect your head. Fight dirty. Protect your head. At the first chance to disengage, take it. Protect your ducking head. Get the first punch in, and keep pushing your fist after it makes contact. Protect your mother ducking head. Tuck your chin. Distract. Sucker punch. Are you really going to try and fight me with a cop car right there? Protect your goddamn head, idiot. Hands way up. That's my purse. I don't know you. Kick. Aim for the nose. Most people will stop right there if you get them in the nose. Throw sand in your opponent's face. Go for the sensitive soft spots. Eyes, ears, nose, throat, solar plex, groin, armpits, and frontal part of the elbow. Oh, and don't assume you know how to throw a punch. You'll get boxer's fractures. Edit. These are just sensitive points on the body and not necessarily points where you should strike an opponent. Armpits are sensitive because they contain nerves, blood vessels, and lymph nodes. Try pinching that area out, gouging your thumb or a pointy object into it. The cubital fossa, frontal part of the elbow, is also sensitive and has thin skin. Eyes are great for gouging as well. Don't assume fights are won solely by striking or grappling your opponent. Also, some of these are only something you should do when you're trying to protect your life. Don't attack someone's throat in a normal scuffle. You punch through something. If you want to punch a guy in the stomach, you try to punch behind his stomach. If you were to aim for his stomach, you won't hit it very hard. Lots of bad advice here. He asked how you win a fight, not how you run away from a fight. That groin, nose, testicle thing is horrible advice that they don't even teach anymore. The leg of your dominant hand 6 inches back, feet shoulder length apart, hands held with knuckles touching your cheeks and elbows in. That's your stance. Don't lift your feet, but pivot them 45 degrees when you throw a punch. Same foot as the hand you're throwing. You want to feel the entire side of your body that's throwing pivot. This is where a majority of a punch's power comes from. After each punch, return your knuckles to your cheek before throwing the next. While throwing a punch, focus on keeping your wrist straight like your forearm is a metal pole. Don't do this, your wrist is broken. Stay tight. Someone dives in for a takedown, shoot your legs back and put your weight on them. Throw elbows any and all opportunities. Edit. Guess I'll continue adding because I left a lot out. There's lots to include. You want to keep equal weight on both feet. Don't put all your weight on one leg. If that's lifted, you lose all balance. Have the foot of your dominant hand, which should be back, with your toes pointing to either 2 or 3 o'clock. If someone aims for a body blow, lower your forearm, which should be touching your body if your knuckles are properly placed, and head as your knuckles never leave your cheeks. When you throw a punch, you will really want to lean forward or backwards. No, not do this. Biggest indicator that someone doesn't know what they're doing. If you do this, you cannot move your feet at all or pivot properly, thus losing all power. In terms of movement, you should be doing a shuffle step. Step with one foot and lightly drag the other. Feels weird, especially keeping your stance. Dominant hand's foot 6 inches back plus shoulder length apart. When you step, your feet will be slightly more than shoulder length. Shouldn't be more than 3 inches. You go left, move the left foot first. You go right, move your right foot. Never cross your legs. Bigger people hit harder because they have an easier time putting mass into the hit. The same thing can be accomplished with pivoting your body appropriately. People get knocked out not by the force of the hit but the jarring in their brain, which is why you see videos of someone barely getting touched and getting knocked out. This is why uppercuts, 5s and 6s, and hooks, 3s and 4s, are so often responsible for knockouts. It's harder to see them. You see a hit coming and your body involuntarily tenses up the proper neck muscles to prevent brain jarring. So hitting someone at novel angles is ideal. If your dominant hand is right, your right leg should be back. Your left leg is forward. In this position, punches with your left hand are jabs. 1. These are the only punches you should throw consecutively. Keep jabbing pretty much non-stop. Punches with the right hand are crosses. 2. These you put extra power into. You jab to set up a powerful cross. Left hook. 3. Right hook. 4. Left uppercut. 5. Right uppercut. 6. You always want to go even, odd, etc. As the knuckle touches your cheek after throwing a punch, the other punch should already be leaving. Run. Being in a fight is extremely dumb and risky. It should be avoided at all costs, even if you are trained. Edit or de-escalate. Again, fighting is dumb, and I say that as a guy who has been boxing for 7 years at this point. Edit 2. Let's be more specific. You should never be trying to win a fight outside an organized sport competition. You should be trying to avoid it, and if inevitable, to disengage from it and get to safety. Voluntarily going into a fight with the intent to win is dumb and reckless. It is extremely easy to sustain or cause a lingering injury or death in combat. The kind of guy who seek fights with stranger tend to be armed or have a bunch of friends ready to curb stomp you. If you want to protect yourself, there is no quick tip. Go get actual training. I guarantee you they will repeat this very advice too. I took a RIMCA self-defense class once. The gist of the class was 1. Avoid fights. Don't be a macho man. 2. Run away if you have to. 3. If it becomes physical, be very loud to draw attention. 4. Your goal in self-defense is to buy time to escape the area. A kick to the groin or palm strike to the nose, eyes, or chin are very effective. Go for the nuts and eyes. Scratch, bite, pull hair. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Make sure to hit up training mode. Practice your combos. Look up your frame data. It'll help you gain advantage against gym players. Windmill with your arms, not your D. Always pull guard, so he doesn't get any points for a takedown. Shoot from a safe distance. Here is how to survive a knife attack. Strike, scream, run. Edit. It got featured on Subreddit. If the person you are fighting is taller than you, don't try to punch them in the face. Aim for the throat. They won't really expect it and it is very painful. Number 1. Whatever you do, make sure you don't get all your info from a website known for false info given out by a bunch of random neckbeards. Then try to take some dude viral. If a fight is unavoidable, swing first and aim for the spot where the jaw meets the ear or dead on the chin. Vice did a video back in the day called How to Get Your Ass Kicked. It was very insightful and would answer your question. No, guys, you are not understanding. This guy is standing in front of a person who's trying to stab him still, looking at his phone, waiting for answers. Liver is located on the right side of a person's body. Instant sit down if you hit it right. Liver shots for days. Tip number 1. Don't ask Redditors to teach you to fight. Take off your pants and stare at them in dominance. Your opponent will either be totally confused and will leave them open for an attack or will run away in fear. This is especially effective if you have a big package. Fight dirty. Eyes, nose, groin. There are no rules other than stop before you think you should. The purpose is to remove the threat, not kill them. The fool strikes. The wise man smiles and watches and learns, then strikes. No one truly wins an impromptu fight, but someone comes out more hurt or damaged than the other, especially the person with no fighting experience. So, let your mind rule the moment and refuse to engage. Remove yourself from the situation as speedily as possible. If you've never been trained to fight, don't fight. This is the same as asking if I've never been an astronaut. What tips can help me be one? I will tell you the best way. Always throw the first punch as soon as they get within arm's reach of you. Throw that first one at their throat, they will collapse and you can kick the living it out of him. If he has a hoodie, pull his hood over his face after the throat punch and hammer that sob. Do not stop throwing punches even if he says stop, I'm done, please stop. Beat that itch till he regrets making you ask for this advice on Reddit. Pull out a fork and say finally, some good ducking food. Start doing a serious martial art. Something that works. Not military things like kung fu, silat, kiai and so on. Judo, BJJ, boxing, MMA, with some background if possible. Sambo and Muay Thai are the best. Hit first. Don't ever try to punch in self-defense if someone is right in your face and threatening to hit you. Punch them right in the jaw and stun them. Then do it again and again. If you let them hit first, you will lose. Source: prison time. I mean, there's all sorts of posts that say for you to avoid the fight altogether. But as some of us know, some guys just don't know when to let it go. In a situation where a fight is unavoidable, attack first and overwhelm if you can. Then ktfo. Little late to the party but figured I'll chime in. I'm a black belt in BJJ. Have several years of judo and Muay Thai experience as well. I've taught many self-defense classes and women's self-defense seminars. The best advice I can give you is this: run. If you can't run, you have to accept you will get hit and likely injured. Keep as much distance as you can with the intent to separate from your opponent and run. If they get their hands on you, attack as quickly and as violently as you can until you can. You guessed it, run. There is no winning a street fight, only who comes out less injured. Barring extreme self-defense situations, it's simply not worth it. Yell at them. It freaks them out and keeps you breathing. One of the biggest mistakes people make is holding their breath, which runs you down really quickly. Another one is if you get hit, try to realize it isn't the end of the world and don't turn away or close your eyes. If you are getting hit, pull your arms up and cover the side of your head with your forearms. Keep them touching your head. If you hold them up but they aren't touching your head, your opponent can punch them, making you punch yourself. Your legs are stronger than your arms. Use them if you can. If you get knocked down, don't freak out but get on your ass as soon as possible. Use your arms and feet to protect yourself. If you knock the other guy down, try to kick him in the coccyx as it hurts like hell and will instinctively force them to stretch out, letting their guard down. Then stomp on their solar plexus, and when their head comes up from that, kick them in the chin. Most people take way too long to throw a punch, watch it come in. You can probably dodge it when you do go under their arm and punch them in the chin with your outside arm. If someone grabs your wrist, put your other hand on their hand and crouch down hard and fast, pulling them with you. When you get to the bottom of your stance, twist your elbow up and explode from your legs back up, driving your elbow through their chin. If they don't have a weapon, stand your ground and keep one eye on their hands. Odds are good they ain't bout nothing. If they throw hands, be fast. Dodge and slap down their hands. If you can't, you're probably ducked already anyway. If you can, they'll get angry, anxious and make a mistake. And since they aren't trained either, as made obvious by their atty hands, your own force of will may prevail. One more thing. Try and take their punch. And trained fighters ain't got no hands. You're tougher than you think, and if you can take their punch without flinching, they get scared quick. If they have a knife, run. You ain't ready. If they have a gun, think happy thoughts while you die. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Edit. Also, don't bring a gun to a knife fight. That's just rude. 1. Don't. Run whenever possible. 2. Analyze whether or not your life is in danger, or if you are risking serious injury. 2.1. If life is in danger, go for the eyes. Punch in the nose. A good kick to the liver, or if it's a man, a hard testicle kick is an instant KO. Otherwise, run. If you out of college and still getting into physical alterations, it is time to reevaluate where you're hanging out and who you are hanging out with. Time to grow up. Don't just swing wildly. Focus on protecting your head and neck instead of attacking. Wait for them to swing. Block it and follow up with a punch to the jaw or gut. Don't try to knock the person out, but get them on the ground and hold them down until they tap out. This is more effective than going for a big swing and a huge hit. After the fight, be a man and don't beat the out of someone who's already on the floor. You just want to show you better, not kill them. Also, a follow up on this point that more people should know. If someone is on the ground, don't beat them. Humans don't have health bars, and a well-placed kick to the head can easily kill someone. The best way to win is to not fight in the first place. Avoid confrontation. Run if you have to. Reenact every scene you can possibly remember from Enter the Dragon, Karate Kid, Kung Fu Panda, and Naruto, all while not even touching your opponent. Just like, kick the air in it. Fight only if you are forced to. Negotiate or run away first. If you must fight, preparation is key. Have items on you that easily double as weapons can prove decisive. Whatever small knives are legal. A roll of nickels in your fist turns your punches into crushing blows. Some soda in a glass bottle you can break. etc. Use your imagination. Don't underestimate the advantage of armor. Just a small, thin set of braces can give you the upper hand, and they're easily concealed under clothing. Also, armor is always legal unless you live in an insane dictatorship. Braces, shin guards, steel toes are all standard equipment for me. I try to look like an industrial worker. If you have the ability, carry several concealed firearms. I've only ever had to fire my weapon in self-defense twice, both in the same incident and upon the same attacker. Truly, 2 sucking chest wounds caused by high velocity lead poisoning causes your attacker to cede the conflict to you pretty darn quick. It's been a crazy half a life for me thus far, and it only looks like it's going to get more crazy given what's going on in my country right now. Good luck out there, bro. Don't fight, run or de-escalate. You could permanently injure someone if they hit their head on concrete etc. or even kill someone by accident. If you must fight, do it on grass or soft ground. Most fights go the month's ground within a few moments. Wear a mouth guard. Teeth are expensive. Knees and elbows are your friend and people forget to use them. If it's a legit street fight, not competition, and you can't avoid it, don't be afraid to fight dirty. There's no code or gentleman way to go about not getting seriously hurt. If it's someone that intimidates you, may I suggest spitting on his face. When he starts wiping your spit off his face, go for a kick in the balls, followed by the hardest punch you can throw at his nose. One good hit in the nose might be enough to get him to back off. The nose is very sensitive. Good luck to you. And if you ever can, train BJJ and or Muay Thai. Don't do it. As someone who has been in a ton of physical alterations, it's usually never good for the person who's never fought before. You win some, you lose some, but it's never really worth it. Now that I'm older, I try to stay away from conflicts and only really assert an altercation if I feel threatened or defending myself. You never know what could happen. It's really dangerous, honestly. Pick up some pepper spray. Punching is for the body, not the head. If you are inexperienced and punch someone in the head, you're going to break your hand. If you're going for the head, use a palm strike or elbow. Run. But if you find yourself in a fight where you are against more opponents, focus your fight only 1-1. It's easier to mess one of them than the whole bunch.